Previously on Twin Portals.
Within the spiral cavern deep below the Sword Mountains, the silver waves of justice faced the experiments of the shape-changing Witch of the Woods, Zay's sister Arcturia. On their way to the heart of the cavern, SWOJ faced powerful transmutation magic and encountered some familiar faces. Scoot's former shipmate Leah, and the most draconic member of SWOJ, Zelopharn. Seeing their friends enchanted by the magical mist, SWOJ smashed the mirror at the heart of the cavern, breaking the spell and forcing Arcturia to escape aboard a mysterious crystalline vessel. Climbing aboard their dragon ally, SWOJ took flight and boarded the Crystal Spire moments before it winked out of existence, sending our heroes once again into the unknown.
Should we get into it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Ready? Set?
Yeah, go to the throats.
Blop, bloop.
Rock and roll.
And you all snap back into reality again. Oh, there goes gravity. And I mean that literally. You're floating inside of this crystal spire,
Oh, man.
surrounded by whirling butterflies. You're together with Leah, your elven friend,
Yep.
and a Zelopharn, who is currently in his human form as Farron. You don't know where you are. There's still a big portal, like a portal meaning like a door opening at the base of this spire. And outside of it appears to be darkness, but there's definitely a glow coming from this spire. You're not sure where you are or what's going on. What are you all doing as you float around gravityless inside this space?
And Arcturia is not here, but the butterflies are.
Whole bunch of butterflies.
Okay.
Yep.
So I had been sort of communicating with my sister. Is that
Yes.
still happening?
I think so. Yeah, telepathically.
Yeah.
You are. It's like we can talk about it later if you want, as far as like what secrets you're sharing right now. But
Okay.
you're reconnecting a little bit, and there's this sense of trust, but also like extreme distance and like some anguish or separation there that kind of frames the way you guys are talking to each other.
Yeah. So Zay is sort of like cross-legged, a little bit like entering the spirit realm, looking sort of
Just in midair.
eyes closed. Yeah, midair, floaty, maybe a little upside down.
Amazing.
Sure. Tinking off the walls, kind of as you go.
Oh my God, yes, please.
Do we have our things back?
But not accidentally
Yes.
out of the bottom hole. I do not float out of the portal. Hopefully.
Great. Ilka is like kick flipping off the walls, spinning in the air, and then on each new panel of crystal with the butt of her song sword is bonking it to see what tone it makes.
Amazing. It's incredibly resonant. Some panels are thicker than others. And roll perception, Ilka, as you bounce around and scope the area out.
If you're in a xylophone, this could take a while.
Oh yeah. 22.
22. Yeah. You kind of get the bearings of the inside of this thing. It's the size of like a small building, maybe like 6 stories or so. And inside there's some stuff built into it. It's not just like a hollow crystal. Like there's like a little panel towards the middle with some like arcane runes on it, and there's some areas that could be perceived as seating or like a place to stay, but it's all gravityless, so you guys are all just kind of floating around. As you go by the entrance down below, you see that this spire is glowing and emanating a light into this like endless black expanse, but maybe like a few hundred feet away you kind of catch glimpses of this like roiling, churning like maelstrom just in the darkness a ways away from you. And then you're making music as you go, tung ting tung. It's very resonant.
Neat.
So you're all greeted by this music on top of everything else going on around you.
I think Scoot probably finds that completely normal at this point. It's like we're in a new tavern and Ilka found a way to play music for a room and board.
Yeah.
I'm probably trying to swim towards Leah.
Sure. And she's pretty nimble. She makes her way over to you too.
Yeah.
It's not like totally gravityless. You can kind of like direct yourself
Okay.
in it. There's some friction somehow.
Yeah, I think Scoot probably doesn't realize that for a good hot minute. Eventually realizes he's just swimming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like makes his way over to Leah to see how Leah's doing and see what she knows.
And she
to
seems
reconnect.
lost in thought. And she's really happy to see you. She's like, Scoot, oh my God.
It's been quite a while.
Of all the places.
Yeah.
What are you all doing here?
We came here, I guess we came looking for mothweed and a bunch of people, and
found this.
Found you, and we are now here, and more questions and answers.
She says, yeah, I don't know where we're going either.
Yeah. How do you remember anything?
Bits and pieces, but it's foggy. I think I was under that witch's spell for a long time.
Yeah. Do you have... Because last time I remember you were with the Emerald Enclave?
Yes, that's what I remember. Yeah, I was in Waterdeep, and they sent me on a mission to go help out the Circle of Dusk near Amthale. And when I met them, they kind of took me in, and I mentored under the lead druid, Shala.
Okay.
And then my memory gets foggy after that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you're healed because you were with the Emerald Enclave because you were injured. So
yes,
yeah.
Yep.
So but you feel recovered.
Yeah, Shala helped me with that actually. It's part of why I stayed for so long.
Awesome.
But then these mists started rolling in, and then after that, my memory gets very foggy.
Yeah, that sounds right from what we heard. The mist definitely had something to do with that.
Hmm.
All right. Well, no idea where we are, where we're going. I see a storm on the horizon. Get that? It's a sailing thing, Leah.
She grins wryly. Farron's like googly-eyed out the door of the portal, just like looking at this storm. He's like, guys, the storm's getting closer. Either that or we're moving really fast around it. I don't know what's going on. He's like, do you guys know where we are? At this point, Zay, your connection with Arturia breaks. She's like stops responding to your thoughts.
I blink in, eyes open wide. I notice that Ilka is bebopping around the room, and I launch off of the closest thing I can to try to like join in the joy.
I'm delighted, and I show her how to like kick off and get a little flip action, so that when you come back, you can hit multiple facets of the crystal at the same time and get different tones.
The butterflies seem kind of into it too. Like they start to move. Yeah.
Lark, can you join us?
Oh, Lark has definitely been doing this the entire time as well, yeah. This is like a Grandpa Joe and Charlie in the fizzy lifting drink room.
Totally.
Yeah.
Minus the spinning blade of death.
Not minus the spinning. Well, we'll see.
Well, we'll see,
I guess.
yeah.
We got a maelstrom.
It's coming towards us, too.
I haven't noticed it yet. I don't know. I just think we're having a party.
Yeah, Lark has not seen the storm either.
How big is the door, the opening?
I don't remember. It's like 10 by 10 or 15 by 15, somewhere in there.
Do it. And it's like below us? Like we could fall down through it if gravity came back?
No, it's like on one face of this prism, kind of on the bottom. Like where a door of a skyscraper would be.
Yeah, I imagine I'd go look at that at some point. Do I notice the maelstrom?
Yeah, you're getting closer to it, and it seems like either it's moving really fast or you're moving really fast, but you see this like angry, roiling darkness that just kind of extends in all directions at the edge of your light.
It's probably not great.
Yeah, it's silent, but it is very ominous.
I imagine Leah and myself are probably checking it out, too.
Okay. On the horizon, like very far away, kind of along this like billowing storm face that you see, there's suddenly like a little spark of light that starts to grow and grow, sort of like a moon in the distance, like a brilliant glowing moon, maybe like a couple miles away. And it seems like you're kind of like moving along this storm towards it as it kind of like comes around a curve, and you start to see more of it. And you hear Zay, I guess you all hear the voice of Arturia in your head saying, "That's my cue." And all the butterflies start to swirl and whoosh out the door into the ether beyond. And you hear Zay, a voice saying, "I'm going to see our siblings. Remember, break the wall." And the butterflies like pelt off towards the storm and disappear into the darkness on the edge of your vision.
As I hear this from Arturia, I reach my grabby little hands out and I snatch one of the butterflies. And I stuff it in my bag.
What? You like crush it or just like gingerly?
Gently with my fingers, so it is alive, but it's mine now.
Okay, you grab a pink one, and it struggles for a bit, but it's a butterfly, so...
I whisper it soothing little songs, so it stops.
Roll persuasion.
I might musically persuade it. 18.
Oh yeah, it calms down, and you pocket it.
Yes, it's mine. I sing it a musical butterfly song.
Do you have like a little box to keep a butterfly, or is it like riding on something?
If my song is persuasive enough, I'm hoping it's my friend now.
Okay.
Maybe it'll stay with me.
Unclear.
Okay. Well, then I'm just holding it in my little fingers while the others go away. Like a little finger cage.
Interesting. Okay, and the rest of them trail out of the spire and disappear into the darkness. As you get closer to this moon, it starts to glow brighter and brighter, and you can see that it's not really a moon so much as it is just a colossal gemstone, like miles in size, sort of like the one that you're in right now, but like a brilliant clear diamond. And it's getting closer and closer and closer. It seems like you're zooming towards it. There are also smaller crystals kind of hovering around it, about the same size as yours, all different shades of gemstones. And spiraling around this diamond is some kind of a structure. Looks like as you get closer, you can see illuminated by the light of this glowing diamond that there are buildings and some kind of a city built in around this diamond floating in space. You also, this thing is shining so brightly that as you get closer to it, you can see clearly that there's just this huge expansive maelstrom, not even a mile away from this glowing citadel on a diamond, that just kind of extends into infinity, curving away. So it's this weird juxtaposition of this glowing beautiful thing and then this huge angry roiling death storm, and you're zooming closer towards it.
That's not
by the moment.
I was just thinking, with these giant gems, we could really change the economy of the war.
Yeah, right?
They seem to serve other purposes.
Yeah, that's probably
Maybe.
true.
But it doesn't seem like there's a diamond scarcity issue. I'm not sure why everybody's fighting over not enough diamonds when there's this giant diamond city on a diamond.
For some reason, I can't focus on the diamond city in front of me or the maelstrom just beyond that or just near that. And all I'm thinking of is, wow, this must be the source of all the diamonds for the diamond mine. It's this makes a lot of sense now.
I feel like we're speeding towards this death maelstrom.
You're kind of curving along it towards the city. It's offset a ways, and you're getting closer to it along the face of this storm.
It's a smidge? Just a little bit off?
A bit more than a smidge, more like a touch.
A touch off, okay.
I perch on
Nice.
the edge of the exit portal and just kind of focus my intentions on making it towards the city,
Sure.
as I have no other skills
And you're
to
zooming,
do that.
you're zooming closer, and as you get closer to the city, you can see that this spiraling city that's built around this big prism-like diamond.
Mm-hmm.
On the top of this spiral, there's this kind of dock area where you can see there's these big moorings, and there's one other crystal kind of like yours that's attached to it that kind of departs and then starts to float away in a different direction. This one's like a sapphire. It's like a blue gem. And your crystal starts to navigate towards one of those kind of docking stations.
I'm doing it, everyone.
And you can see there are people milling around on the city, kind of watching you, with awe and pointing as you get closer, airplane style, towards the landing strip.
Say, can you park it over there?
Mm-hmm. I aim over there.
It's unclear if you're moving it yourself.
Yeah,
or what's
right.
going
No
on.
actual impact.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm legitimately looking at my character sheet going, do I have proficiency in vehicles space? Nope.
Yeah, Leah and Zelipharn are also perched around the door at this point. And you start to touch down onto this little dock area where you're greeted by a small group of humanoids. Looks like some humans and a halfling and someone in robes. One of them's wearing a really fancy looking helmet that's got weird phalanges sticking out of it. Looks kind of high tech.
Is that is that beholder triggering to anybody?
A little bit,
A little bit?
maybe.
A little bit.
Greetings, citizens. Take us to your leader.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
As soon as you touch down,
Yeah.
Nicely said.
they're
Thanks.
all beaming
I read
at
it in
you
a
when
book
you
once.
arrive. They seem very happy, and overall the architecture here seems very much Faerunian. It's pretty down to earth. Aside from the giant glowing gemstone, there's just kind of a cultural mishmash of buildings, a bit more exotic than Waterdeep. It's really all walks of life.
Cool.
And the humanoids are also similarly all different types of... Okay.
Yep. And one of them walks up to you and just holds out a hand and says, "Welcome, travelers.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello.
You've brought the lost Concord jewel.
You're welcome.
That's incredible. Well, welcome. Who are you?
We're SWOJ.
We're the silver waves of justice.
Is that a city or a what?"
That's kind of a mystery-solving, crime-fighting team with a secret hideout.
It's a secret. It's a secret.
The one with the helmet kind of looks at the other ones and then kind of narrows his eyes and seems to kind of focus on something that you can't see. And you all feel a tingling in your minds for a moment. And then he nods to his friends and they're like, "Well, you're welcome. You're welcome here in the Radiant Citadel.
Ooh.
Come on in."
Radiant Citadel.
We found the crystal, the Concord
Jewel.
jewel. in the spiral caverns of
Where were we?
northern
Oh, wait. I have
The Sword Mountains.
in the Sword Mountains. Thank you.
Sword Mountains. Where is that?
Oh, it's that's a good question. It's in Faerun.
Terra?
Yeah, do we know there's a not Faerun? I suppose we know now.
Yeah.
Toril is the name of the
Toril?
planet.
Okay. And Faerun is the continent?
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
They're all like, do
D&D
you
lore.
guys know where you're from?
Yeah,
Are you all
about
right?
it
You all look a little hairy. Do you need help? We have a healer on hand, and the person in the robe steps forward and is like, I can help you.
Oh, we did
If
just
you're
fight a
running
winged
from something.
Yeah,
six-eyed.
I was fighting her a little bit ago, and I point to Leah.
Yeah, I could use. I'm a bit beat up.
Sheepishly.
I show my various cuts, bruises, gouges, and yeah.
Sure, and the healer holds out his hand, and like a brilliant light stems from it, and like immediately like closes all your wounds. And anybody who's injured is fully healed.
Amazing.
Thank
It
you.
kind of focuses the light from the diamond in the
So
middle.
he's a mechanic because Lark's a robot.
I'm not a robot.
Are you a robot?
No, I'm not a robot.
One of the halflings steps forward and is like, really?
As far
Are you
as
sure?
we know.
I mean, here, poke me.
The halfling does.
Boop,
And
boop,
turns
beep,
to
beep.
her buddies and says, no, wait. Wait a minute.
Just fooling.
Ow! You're supposed to say ow.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome here in the Radiant Citadel. This is a place for refugees, for those looking for a place of safe harbor. Do you can you pay the toll to enter?
We're going to pay with the Crystal of Concord in addition to the finder's fee.
Oh, you don't. We're not owners of the crystals.
Yeah.
But
we
they're
found it.
Timeless. That's
Right.
true. You did.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
And brought it back.
And we brought it, yeah.
So
Zay
you-
piloted it right. I mean, did you see that perfect landing? That was incredible.
Yeah, a great personal injury to our persons.
Yeah.
Oh, and the lead person turns to you and says, "Oh, are you a claviger?"
Sometimes. Depends on the day.
Roll persuasion. Zay.
Solid middle of the road answer.
8.
8.
Super. I'm convinced.
None of them are convinced. They're all like, well, you seem to have a knack for it, so if you'd like to learn how to pilot these things, we do have a staff of clavigers that guide the other Concord jewels to their destinations.
Absolutely. If we're going to spend some time here, I'd love to learn a new skill.
Claviger.
Well, it sounds like they want the crystal to stay here. It is our traveling vessel, so I don't think we can leave.
So we better learn how to
Fair.
pilot
Where,
it.
yeah, where
Yep.
are we going to go?
Yeah.
Is claviger, is it the root somehow like from like cleave? Or
No,
like
more
cleavage?
from clave, like maybe like key, like lave. It's a Latin thing.
Oh. Okay.
But the guards don't
Faerun
tell you that.
Right.
Flatten. Yeah.
The only thing I know for sure is that nobody spelt this the same way.
And more bystanders are showing up to like gawk at this jewel, and like whisper it to each other, and they'll be like, "Wow, like I wonder what spirits came with it. Oh, the ancestors will be so happy." There's all these like kind of just like a vibrant, joyful tone to this whole docking area as all these people show up. And the people who welcomed you are like, "Do you have any questions?" I mean,
I move to the other halfling and I say, "How did you come to be here?"
and she says, "I was born here. Actually, my ancestors came here a couple generations ago."
Generations ago. And where do your ancestors hail from?
Atagua.
Does that sound familiar to me?
Roll knowledge, history.
9.
It doesn't sound remotely familiar to you.
All right. Although I'm loving this whole explains Zay's storied past potentially. It's very exciting. Can you tell me more about the maelstrom? And I point out into the darkness.
Oh, that? Yeah. That's the keening gloom, we call it. It's always been there, and we hope it always stays there. Some scholars believe it's moving slowly closer to the Citadel, but I think that's just superstition.
Is it occasionally noisy?
Yes, once you get close to it, it is. But here on the ethereal plane, sound works in mysterious ways. Pockets of air, you see.
Oh, yeah, because vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, scientist.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yep, he's our resident scientist.
No, this is bad news.
I
Scoot
discovered
knows a
that.
lot about vibrations.
Do you?
Tell us something about vibrations, Scoot.
Well, I tell you, if you are on water
Yeah.
and you drop a rock, it creates a ripple.
Yes.
And from that ripple, many feet away, you can tell that something fell in the water over here.
Or came out of the water.
Or came out of the water.
Leah snorts behind you.
The water. Through watching the water change.
Wow.
That's a vibration.
That's pretty awesome.
Or it's...
Thanks for sharing your vibration knowledge.
It's how water has tactile something with itself. And that's...
When is the last time an esteemed scientist such as this came to the Radiant Citadel?
They're starting to get the vibe that you guys are all just kind of BSing your way. They're like just kind of rolling with it. Like, oh, you know, they come in the Concord Jewels all the time. This Citadel is a hub of trade.
Scoot rolls to see if he's offended at that or
For
not.
the ethereal plane?
He is.
Well, the halfling is kind of like the science person of the group, and she steps forward and says, the Radiant Citadel is connected to the material plane by the Concord Jewels. Each one is anchored to a different location on Toril. And, by traveling back and forth, the Radiant Citadel has been sort of a hub for the lost and the needy, hailing from different parts of the world. So you're the first travelers to come from the Sword Coast. That is where the Sword Mountains are, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Good guess.
I've read a book or two, she says humbly.
That felt like shade.
We're the first. Wow. Oh, man.
Ding.
Zay immediately begins just like telling everyone all of the things that she has happened to her and she has learned and all the food she's tried since she was dumped out of the portal into Waterdeep.
They politely listen. The halfling seems more interested, like she's kind of taking notes and like taking the record of what all you guys are cooking.
The things they need to know about Sword Coast.
Step forward with my little finger cage and show them the pink butterfly and ask if they can tell me anything about it.
Yeah, they rush over to you and try to like knock the butterfly out of your hands. Do you resist?
I step back and ask them to use their words.
And they stop and politely say, "That thing has no home here."
I was kind of making friends with it. Is it bad?
They say it's permeated with evil and chaotic energy.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I actually don't know what to do with it. I feel like by having it, we have a link to the being that was made of 1,000 of these things. Her name was Arcturia. I know.
They blink at you, and the halfling jots that down.
Do you know this name, Arcturia?
She says, "No, I don't."
Damn. I swear.
But it doesn't pass the smell test. And she points at the helmet the other one's wearing.
What's a smell test?
Yeah, what's the smell test?
Oh, it's a telepathic helm that can kind of like get a gauge for the intentions of people who arrive.
Oh, is that what the
Here on the Citadel.
phalanges do?
Yes, the phalanges for different types of people that arrive. And the one wearing the helmet kind of points at Zelipharn and says like, "You're different, aren't you?" And Zelipharn kind of looks awkwardly around and it's like, "No, what do you mean?"
What form is Zelipharn in?
Human. And they're like, "You are not like these other travelers."
He's a member of SWOJ.
The crime-fighting,
Mystery solving.
Yeah. Force.
Secret hideout.
Where is your secret hideout?
It's in Waterdeep.
In Waterdeep.
Yeah.
I see. So you're Waterdavians.
Yes, we are.
Interesting. Leah at this point steps forward and is like, yeah, he's a dragon, but don't worry, he's a good one. And Zelipharn's like, okay, yeah. And Leah's like, listen, you said this is a place for refugees. Would you take refugees from a war near Waterdeep, near the Sword Coast? And they look at each other and kind of confer. And they say that you guys should talk to Sholay about it. Talk to the speakers. If you want to bring in refugees.
And the speakers?
Yep. They're the governing body of the Citadel.
Is Sholay a person?
Sholay is a person. The first speaker.
Sounds like a band that's going to open for Ilka someday.
This is Susie and the Banshees.
What is your name, ma'am?
Sax?
Zax? With a Z and an X?
Sax.
Sax.
Yep.
Got it.
Sax Bandon.
Hi, Sax Bandon. When you were describing before about the connection to our planet, Toril. Is that right?
Yep.
Earlier when you were describing the connection between this place and Toril, I wasn't paying attention. Can you say that again?
Love it. I'm happy to cut this too.
No.
She purses her lips and then once again launches into it, explaining how this place is in the ethereal plane, but it's tied to the material plane by the Concord gemstones, these floating crystal ship-like things that hover around the Citadel. And each one is anchored to a different place on the material plane. And so the one that you brought back has been missing since their history begins here.
Where does it connect to?
How did you know it exists?
Well, we know that there are at least 15 of them, maybe more, and only 12 have been anchored here since we resettled the Citadel 250 years ago.
And so this one that we just brought back, where does it connect to?
To wherever you came from.
Oh, so it like the crystals have to go back and forth. So the people who are going back and want to go to Toril, they get into the crystal and ride just like we did on the way here.
Yes, a claviger will take them back to its anchor point.
Interesting. Where did the other ones go?
All around.
Awesome.
We've got the different kingdoms and cities around Atagua, San Citlan. There's one near Chult.
If we wanted to move the location of our secret hideout here to the Radiant Citadel so that we could easily get, all over Toril and help to fight for justice that way, how would you and the speakers feel about that?
We're a pretty egalitarian society, so as long as you weren't, getting in anyone's way, I'm sure we could find room for you.
Nice. Oh man.
But I will warn you.
That was like our secret moon base.
Tariffs are high, traveling in and out. We expect people to give according to their means, help support the society here.
Oh, we're all about that. We can definitely give according to our means, which
Wonderful.
are not much.
What
As is often the case for folks running away from things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What sort of needs does this society have? Like fresh food?
Sax kind of leans forward and says, well, we have a lot of farming on the Citadel. We have many groves that are enriched by the light of the what's it called? It's the auroral diamond. Simple as that. It's this massive crystal that sort of energizes everything in our city. We have farms, little groves of trees, as well as some larger farms within the preserve of the ancestors inside the diamond. And that's where we grow a lot of our produce, but a lot of our meat and other finer goods are imported.
Mm-hmm. And the auroral diamond offers some sort of magical power as well. Is that how we were healed? A sort of energy?
It amplifies healing energy.
Amplifies healing energy.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we have a whole cast of healers that make their quarters near the diamond in the House of Convalescence that offer their services to the weak and those in need.
If I was going to guess what would be the thing that the Radiant Citadel needed the most, it would probably be good music and exciting tales of heroic daring do.
I think you'd make it a long way in the night market with those goods.
Nice. What's the night market?
Oh, it's down on the trade discal near the Preserve of the Ancestors. It's a booming place where all the different cultures that are here meet and mesh and celebrate and hawk their goods.
I love it. We should go to the night district.
The night market.
I mean the night market.
in the trade district.
In the trade district.
And Leah's like, wait a minute. Can we talk about bringing refugees here?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Leah.
And Sax is like, no, we are very welcoming here, but we only have so much capacity. So it's important that, wherever you're coming from, whoever needs to be here, whoever needs help, it doesn't ask for more than we can handle, And she's like, she agrees. That makes sense.
We don't want to tax the floating diamond in the sky.
No.
Right.
Well, and it would be temporary, presumably, to care for those who are displaced in the moment while we finish off the war.
Yeah. That's true.
Is that what you say?
Yes.
They look at each other when you say that and kind of look concerned.
I mean, that's what Lark says.
Yeah.
Our goal is.
Yep.
So, yeah, we have to rescue. Wait a minute. We forgot to rescue Juan
Oh, we got a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leah's like, that's what I was thinking too. Like I kind of want to go back and make sure everyone's okay.
Yeah.
But I can go and do that if you guys want to get your headquarters situated or whatever you guys are talking about here.
That's a long-term plan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's down the road. I was just kind of, I was doing I was vision boarding.
Vision boarding?
Yeah.
Is that like surfboarding?
You guys have surfboarding?
Leah's like,
Yeah.
Scoot, we've surfboarded a lot. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I haven't seen a board in a while.
No.
Or waves for that matter.
No.
It's been a bit.
She leans over to Lark and is like, he always struggled.
Yeah. But he does know a lot about waves. Did you hear his earlier lecture about waves?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
Yeah. I'm a scientist.
Truly
now.
a thesis.
Yeah.
They don't call it the Scootler effect for nothing.
Oh, my psychic damage.
And Saxon's like, well, if you're going down to the night market, everyone there will be extremely welcoming and happy to see you because it's the first time it's the first time we've had a new Concord jewel in town in generations. So everyone will have questions for you, I'm sure.
Leah, what do you think we should do?
Leah? Leah says, I think you should follow your hearts and maybe if you want to explore, I can go back and make sure everyone's okay in the cavern.
Oh, it's like I'm still thinking about Taga
Yeah.
because I need to get some mothweed back there to her.
Yeah.
Do you say that or?
Is there a claviger who could guide us back? A claviger who's been
Or at least-
curious about the Sword Coast?
Sure.
Or can take Leah back and Leah can continue the work. I mean, she's got this knowledge. She knows that this thing's out there. And
Yeah, and actually one techie looking person has already stepped into the diamond or the spire that you guys came in on and is
Sure.
like fiddling with that rune thing on the inside. You can kind of see them through the translucent crystal. And it's kind of like making like powering on sounds and he's giving like a thumbs up to some people outside and they're like shopping it.
Danger Zone's
So-
playing in the
Yeah,
background.
exactly. Yeah.
Lots of high fives and thumbs up.
Totally. They're polishing it.
Yeah. Aggressive salutes.
Yep. And they're like, yeah, we can get you back there, no problem, as long as this thing works right. If you want to travel back and forth, it's the power is free, so it'll just take some time.
How long does it typically take to travel back to Toril?
Oh, just the trip out to the anchor point, and then you phase shift, and then wherever your landing point is on the other side.
So minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, it can be pretty quick.
Shall we confer? There's so many questions I still have about what just happened.
Yeah.
And where we are, and is it still the day, right of the stake last day? And
I don't know. But I feel like if you have some questions, these helpful folks here at the Citadel might be able to answer them.
Does time
I don't
happen
think
on
it is.
Toril the same way it happens here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
I just don't want us to get back with the mothweed and it's 4 years later.
Yeah, we've done some
Yeah.
extra planar traveling where time did not follow.
Sax leans forward and it's like Feywild stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful with that.
Yeah.
Scoot would like to know if either of these fine folk have either weapon or metallurgy experience, because there are people interested in what my axe is made of.
Sax says, I only have a little, but there are certainly merchants and scientists down in the city who have experience. Yes.
Yeah, I thought night market might be a good place to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then I would be conferring with Leah if she's going back. I'm emptying every bit of mothweed I have out of my pockets.
Yep. And she's very
And-
solemn about it. She's like, yeah, I'll make sure it gets to the right place.
Yeah, and I'm asking SWOJ to give up what you can.
I give all my moth
Yep.
weed.
Keep some if you're curious or if you feel like you need some. But
Nope.
Yep.
She says if everything's
Okay.
going all right on the other side, I'll send one of the Circle of Dust druids back, or I'll come back myself to let you know
Okay.
that everything's been done right. If you don't hear from me in a day or two, then something's wrong.
so we're sending Leah back to finish up our Earthside quests, and our plan is to remain here for now.
Well, that's what it seemed like was happening. But
Travel is
That's
quick
what I'm wondering.
also.
Yep.
So
We could, if it's this quick of travel, we could go with her and get the mothweed back to Taga.
Well, travel
Then it's
back.
a 3 days travel.
Travel back to Waterdeep won't be quick.
Although we do have a dragon.
That's also true.
Actually, I don't know why I would feel more confident if Zelipharn also went with.
Oh, and Leah could
'Cause
ride Zelipharn.
Yeah, and because he knows Taga, and I don't know. But then there's still I just feel like we have 2 urgent unfinished quests. rescuing the Staglass in time and getting Scoot's mom her cure.
We could.
Zelephar seems to be spacing out as you talk about it. What were you going to say? Okay.
We could stay one night here. We could go to this night market, learn about it, and then head back in the morning with
And
us.
then return.
Then we would miss the rite of the Staglass.
Oh, that's true. Well, we have no hints about her, just about Juan, right? Or Juan. Not Juan.
Yeah, we have
Just they disappeared at the same time.
nothing to go on.
We saw Juan.
Yeah.
My sister turned into him.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Yep.
Which makes me think perhaps he's in the caverns.
Do we know what we're going back into? Are we just dropping back into the caverns? Does it take us right back where?
That's what it seemed like they
Should.
suggested.
That's what
Yeah.
they're saying,
And
yeah.
what was the situation when we left?
A giant broken mirror, which seemed to make illusions go. All the illusions break. So the mirror was like holding the illusions in some way.
And it would also have stopped the mist, we think.
Yeah. Scoot smash. So, yeah.
Yep.
You all hear a whistling sound come from Zelephar, and it just kind of sounds like this. It goes like...
I look at Zelephar. I look at Farron. What's he doing?
He seems kind of spaced out, like I was saying. His eyes are distant, and as you look at him, roll perception.
I'm also going.
Yeah.
13.
13. You catch a brief glimpse of a looks like a tall, shadowy humanoid shape, like kind of framing Zelephar, and like when you blink, it's gone. And he's not whistling. You just heard this whistling sound briefly, as this shadowy shape kind of like takes a step away and vanishes.
I just saw a shadowy shape by Zelephar.
I step over to Zelephar and like snap my fingers in front of his eyes.
And he regains focus and looks at you. And he's like, "What happened? What?
Hey, buddy, you with us?
Yeah."
I'm trying to follow the shadowy shape.
You don't see any sign of it.
Can I see where can I kind of look where it went to?
Yeah, it kind of went like towards the direction of the city, since it kind of wraps around this crystal snake-like it kind of is a linear city, and so he kind of went that direction towards it.
Sax, I just saw a shadowy shape kind of doing something weird to my friend here, and then they walk back toward the city. Do you have like shadowy shape people here?
Yeah, who is
Sax
your
says, "No, this is a very safe place."
psionic smell test friend?
Yeah, I was gonna say, did the smeller?
Smeller seems nonplussed. He's like, "What? I didn't catch anything."
So, all right, I guess they're not being helpful with the shadowy figure. Farron is okay.
None of them detected it. Just you and I guess the rest of SWOJ a little bit. Yeah, like Farron seems totally fine. He's like, "I think there's someone who wants to talk to me inside that," and he points at the diamond itself.
Oh,
The one we just came from?
No, the big one, the auroral diamond.
okay.
Well, let's go see who that person is.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. They've kind of felt like
Zelephar.
a friend or
Oh.
a family even.
Okay. Okay. As Zelephar, I think you should go see the person who maybe feels like family. If it feels safe to you, I think that's a good idea.
He said, "Yeah, it felt totally safe. Why wouldn't it?"
I don't know. It just was like a little creepy.
What was creepy?
You got zoned out, like you were spaced out. There was a whistling sound, and then there was this giant shadowy figure standing behind you.
He looks really spooked. He's like, "I did not hear that."
Yeah, that's why it feels a little threatening to me.
Okay, so you're saying that I should go follow that voice though?
Well, you felt pretty confident that someone wanted to talk to you, and that it was someone you knew, and it was maybe family.
So what do you all do?
I'm so torn.
Okay. Scoot is basically, his concern is primarily with Taiga.
Yeah.
Scott understands that we just hit a different level of the game, and where now we have access to all these different things, and it's really hard to not go and explore all the different things. So,
But we do have the war. We have missing people. We have
Yeah,
the Staglass.
I
We
do
have Taiga.
I do feel like we need to resolve those things, or at least I think Scoot would feel better about doing that.
And then Zelephar, we bring him with us, or we leave him here to potentially walk into scary shadow dude.
I want him to come with us.
Okay.
He's part of SWOJ.
Zelephar, how do you feel about coming back to the Sword Mountains and not going to see your potential family member?
Well, I guess I kind of want to do both, so it's just a question of urgency.
I mean, we are coming back here at some point.
Yeah.
We are gonna, as long as we can make the return trip, and we feel like we're gonna have access to it, we're definitely coming back here because it's too cool to not.
Should we just do the return trip really quickly, narratively?
Sure.
Like
Scoot would
montage scene of quest turn-ins.
Scoot would Scoot wants to go that way, and Scott's fine with.
All right, montage scene of quest turn-ins.
Okay.
We return and search the taverns for the missing folk.
The caverns? Did you say the taverns?
I meant caverns.
Yeah.
What did I say?
You don't find anybody in the taverns, but in the caverns, everyone is there in one place or another. It seems like everyone was shapeshifted into different things. Like the door was a person, and the badger was Shala.
Who was the door?
The door was Ander, one of the Circle of Dust druids as well.
Sorry.
Yep.
Ander.
Sorry, Ander. And there were other parts of the cavern too that you guys didn't even get to, with Fela Lefalier and Anya Ermbrusk.
Yay, we found Fela.
You found them. They're alive, but their memories are all over the place.
Do we have any idea why she was taken in particular? Does she have any idea?
The only common thread is that they're all elves or half-elves.
Elves or half-elves?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like older people.
Oh, wait. So was this year's Staeglass a half-elf?
She was.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Juan was a half-elf?
Yes, he was a half-elf, yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay, so I love that we have that thread now.
Okay, so we find everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome back.
Hello.
We're SWOJ.
And then what's your next step?
I feel like this is the mass turn-in part where all of a sudden you just see the money go clink.
Yep, your XP bar just shooting.
Yeah, right. You've leveled up.
So
4
then we
times.
headed back.
Let's just talk to the
Amphale?
mayor of Amphale to talk about perhaps bringing some particularly injured refugees back with us.
Yeah.
This trip. Yeah.
Gundark Gundarkson is how open are you with him about all of this? Like 100%?
I don't think so. Maybe just like we know of some healers just past the forest, so maybe like imply it might be the druids. The druids of the Dusk druids, Circle of Dust druids. Like we just that we know of some healers, so if there's some particularly refugees in need, we could take up to 5.
It was a 6-story building. I mean, it was a large transport. There's some space in there.
The crystal's big?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, he's incredibly grateful that you brought folks back, and that did you tell him about like the mist and that like the problem's gone and all that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's whatever you need from the town's coffers, like he's indebted to you. So
we resolved the mist, all that. We smashed the thing, and
as far as you know, I mean, it's been a day, so it's not like you have like a lot of...
I think as part of our reward, we would like some of the meat from the festival.
Says I can do that
to bring
for
back?
Sure.
And also a seat of honor at the festival.
At the right of the Staeglass.
At the right of the Staeglass.
It's kind of
right
an outdoor
next to the
thing,
Staeglass.
we all throw fruit at the Staeglass as she runs through town.
Oh, this festival sounds different than what I was imagining.
Yeah, it's an archaic thing.
What is it? The tomatino? They do something like that for...
Yeah,
Throw
sort
tomatoes?
of. They just throw tomatoes all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked the Staeglass if she actually is okay with having fruit thrown at her.
Anya says, "Oh, that's just one part of it. Don't worry. If I can renounce my family, I am all here for it."
Why do you want to renounce your family?
Because they're assholes.
Okay, well, okay. I support your decision.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Lark Wave Silver.
Yeah.
She knows you.
wow.
How do you know
Full
me?
name.
Oh, and I didn't. If I've met you before, I forgot.
Old
They
family
went to
reunions.
summer camp.
Yeah, we went to. Yeah, exactly. It's like a grade school thing.
I donated one of my kidneys to you.
Learn how to
rich
shoe
kid
a
school.
horse.
Yep. She's like, I think you know a thing or two about overbearing parents, Lark.
Mine turned out to be okay, actually.
What? Really?
Yeah.
She's really skeptical.
They were
about
secret
that.
vigilantes, and I never knew. Shh. I'm sorry.
She narrows her eyes as you talk in the dragon flag.
The Stagen flag.
Stagen flag. Sorry,
flag.
Stagen
The
flag.
dragon flag.
The
It
dragon.
is now.
I just got confused with my other D&D game too, because the dragon back in was a different tavern than we were in.
Oh.
But anyway, the Stagen flag.
I'm hoping Sariander will be an NPC in the future.
Sariander.
I want it to be a kind of spice, like coriander.
Definitely.
So the rest, you're saying there's other parts of the stag.
There's
ritual is
butterflies.
The right of the stag glass.
Yeah, Anya's like, I've been studying up on this. So what happens is I ride through town wearing this horned helmet, and everyone throws stuff at me, and then I reach the end of town and turn around and walk back through it, and it's got to be stealthy because people are all throwing fruits and garbage at each other. And if I make my way back to the Stagen flag, then I get consecrated and blessed by the druids of Mialiki, the Circle of Dust druids. And then I get to join them and renounce all my ties to the past and become sort of a servant of Mieliki. It's honoring this old historical thing that happened hundreds of years ago where a druid was mistaken for a stag and chased through town by hunters and turned out, to be not a stag and was taken in by Mieliki to be one of her avatars. So
My goodness.
it's quite a tale.
Well, good luck with that. I was excited to attend the rite, but I'm maybe a little less excited now if the people are throwing garbage at each other.
Oh, it's all good fun. I mean, everyone makes a mess and then drinks afterwards.
Yeah. I might get some on my hat.
That's true.
Is there someone traveling toward Waterdeep that what's the name of our friend?
Craw.
Oh, Craw. We could send Craw back to Waterdeep. Yeah?
I would. While you guys are all talking family and stuff, Scoot is trying to either get on Craw, find Craw and get on Craw, or ride Zelopharn down to Waterdeep.
Oh, okay. Do you guys want to stick around while Scoot flies back to Waterdeep?
This is a one and done trip for me. I'm not making any other stops.
We could.
You could turn in you could collect. Do we collect our reward for the job with the Doom Network?
I wasn't planning to. I was literally just going to go down there as fast as possible.
Or do we collect that from our contact?
Might as
Gundark,
well, since this is a montage. I mean,
Yeah.
Gundark had a reward for you. The Doom Network had a reward for you.
I'm going to schlep Juan back to the music shop and turn him in.
Oh, and get your
my
concertina.
concertina
Get your
back.
concertina back. Yeah, and Hana's overjoyed. She gives you a huge hug.
Amazing.
And your concertina's in perfect shape.
Perfect.
With all the pegs, I think, restored at this point.
And
for
the
the
little
first time.
pearly keys.
Yep.
We can bring Leah back too when we go.
And Phala, yeah.
And Phala, yep.
Or I meant Phala, but also Leah.
Oh, yeah. We should bring Phala back. It's true.
Leah wants to stick around to help out the Circle of Dust druids and
Okay.
help get refugees to the quote-unquote druids, like you talked
To
about.
the space druids.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that all of the only remaining quests are gray. I think it's time
Nice.
to move forward into a new
And Tag
area.
is okay. Like I don't know if just Scoot went back or we all went back, but
I once you get back, Taga's in fine shape. She still has a cough, but the
That-
mothweed
That's enough to bother me.
clears it up immediately.
Yeah.
You get the gist that whatever it was that was affecting her was kind of a shape-changing spore, like a magic spore that causes your internal organs to kind of shift a little.
I like that even less.
And so the mothweed purges that immediately, and that's
Nice.
and she's doing better.
And she has
She
years
also-
supply of it.
I
Yeah, she
hope
puts
so.
it all in careful boxes and
Yeah.
folds it away on a shelf.
Oh, just like 3-4 years worth of medicine boxes.
Yep.
Here's
And she kind of talks
Friday.
to herself about finding an apothecary to grind some of it down to just have for storage
Yep.
without rotting.
So it's a quick hug,
Mm-hmm.
a sandwich, out the door. Love ya. Say hi to Dad for me.
She's like, I will. I love you, Scoot.
I pat the kids on the way out.
except
Pat,
Squidly,
pat.
which we never found.
Yeah, he's still
up,
missing.
He's up by us.
Maybe.
Or
He was,
maybe,
yeah.
perhaps.
And then do you stop by the Doom Network and collect our?
Yeah, whatever you guys put on the to-do list.
Okay.
I don't remember how much gold I promised you for each thing.
10,000 apiece. I think
I
was.
don't think that's what it was. But we can say you have some gold, and I can account for it later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been tracking it so carefully. This is gonna throw my books off, but
Yeah.
I need 5 days.
Yeah.
Don't stick your lawyers on me, please.
okay.
5 working days.
Is the montage over?
Yeah. And did I find Craw?
Yeah, Kraw's been in Amphale,
Okay.
hanging out at the Stag and Flag and helping
Okay.
folks out.
Okay.
I think at the very end of the montage, if we all do a group high five and then it freeze frames and then slow fade back to regular speed.
Yeah.
So where do you wipe to after the slow
I'm
fade?
the only one who has to jump.
Yeah.
back at the whatever the
Concord crystal.
yeah, the Concord crystal.
Yeah.
Concord Jewel.
Made of grapes.
Yeah, Concord Grape Crystal.
That is exactly what I
Arriving back at
pictured.
the Radiant Citadel again.
Sure. Well, I mean, have we loaded as many people as we can fit into the thing?
10 refugees?
Well, I think we should start minimally with the ones that need the most healing, because then maybe once they've rested, we can bring them because we kind of said we wouldn't leave the refugees. I guess they're displaced.
Yeah.
That was a lot of rambling.
That's it. We brought 10 and some meat from the right of the stag glass.
Yeah.
Which we attended, but didn't get too much garbage on ourselves.
Wonderful. Roll dexterity just to make sure.
No. 16.
Okay.
Everybody?
Not you, Scoot, because you were flying.
6.
Oh no, Zay was like intentionally.
Unless he stuck around.
Zay's covered in garbage.
I'm
and fruit.
covered in fruit. Yeah. I
Okay.
haven't experienced.
It's been a really stinky ride on the Concord Jewel.
Well, I was covered. Now I have since bathed.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Ilka's pretty fastidious.
Good. Your time as a cat kind of left a mark.
No, my time as a rotting corpse.
That's all of the time.
I know how these things work in a matter of days.
Okay.
All right.
So my main question is how secretive are you about the whole Concord Jewel and refugee thing? Like the refugees know about it, but nobody else? Or what's your...
Well, and they won't know until they've arrived, I would think.
Yeah, we're telling them that their wounds are great. We're taking you to a place of powerful healers that can fix them. But it may be a journey like you have not taken before.
Okay, but the Circle of Dusk knows about it, and they're kind of helping be shepherds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Fair enough. So you're all welcomed with open arms by the committee, the welcoming party at the Radiant Citadel. And the healer takes the refugees away and starts giving them some food and some supplies, some basic living, tools and things to help find a place to live. Gives them some directions to some apartments they could use. And it's all very up and kind as you make your way back onto the Citadel. Leah stays behind with the Circle of Dusk, but Zelifarn comes with you again once Scoot arrives. You're kind of the last one as this all wraps together, Scoot.
Okay.
You and Zelifarn came back. And
I got, just garbage bags of gold now.
basically. You have the bag of holding, right? So I guess.
Yeah. That too.
But they're in garbage bags in the bag of holding.
Well, I trust the garbage bags now more than the bag of holding because the bag of holding got infiltrated.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
But if you keep your stuff in a garbage bag in the bag of holding, then it's totally
safe.
Yeah.
Nobody would look in there.
But I also put 4 bags of actual garbage in there. So there's a 20% chance they find it.
Smart.
Can we kind of set something up with Leah where she's like the go-between for the refugees? Like the town knows they can send people to the Grove, and then after that they can. So the town people know they can. There's refuge near Amphale.
Yeah, she's all for it. She's
Okay.
like, that's what I'll do for now.
And they can kind of screen people or whatever.
She's like, I think, the more people we help, eventually word will get out of what's going on here. But at least for a short time, we can help people without drawing too much attention or, any negative press.
It's an alarm. They just go away forever. We sent them for healing and they never came back.
I'm sure they're fine.
That's a plot in a lot of D&D campaigns.
Right.
So we're back on the
Citadel.
Concord Citadel.
It's kind of the Radiant Citadel.
Radiant.
It's nighttime right now, but it's not like nighttime in the traditional sense because there's no sun around you. The diamond itself illuminates everything. So the light on this town already is very much like kind of like moonlight from like a central source. So there's like long shadows and like really intense darkness like behind buildings and in areas where the light doesn't reach.
Sure.
But also the diamond in the middle kind of changes colors from time to time. It shifts to like a red hue or a green hue. And so that's what nighttime is in this town. It's not so much like darkness as much as it is like not this bright, brilliant light, but one of the darker hues. So everything's kind of bathed in a red light right now.
Is it predictable?
It's kind of on a cycle, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So people have a chance to sleep. And they're like magic lamps that illuminate the city. So from the top here, you can see kind of looking down this crystal, like this, this beautiful twirling city going down the edge of the diamond and all these little lights of shops. And there's like kind of like a more bustling center section towards the middle of the diamond where there's all kinds of light and fire burning.
Okay, so I think we should head down to the night market.
I'm way ahead of y'all. Like, I'm pretty sure that this is my calling. I am rustling us along the way down towards the night market.
How hard was it to pull you away from the musical crystals?
Oh, the ones I was tapping on?
Yeah.
Once I found out what they did, that each panel made a different tone and that's it. Mm-hmm. It's like I have a map in my head of what the crystal sounds like and then I'm good.
Just solve the puzzle and then...
One more tool.
Yep. Nice.
In the kit.
Yep.
So nighttime in the Radiant Citadel is vibrant. There are people all over the streets. Like I said, it's not really nighttime. You're constantly bathed in shades of red and purple and green and blue coming from the auroral diamond in the center of the city. The smell of hot spices and like, otherworldly flavors hits your noses as you make your way down and around the Radiant Citadel.
Sorry, hot spices after our last conversation.
That's where my head is now. There are vendors selling nachos on the streets.
Yay!
Do you buy some?
Oh, Ilka's in full-on revelry. She's buying this big platter of probably like dessert nachos.
Okay, they've got kimchi on them. It's very
Kimchi
nice.
dessert nachos.
What?
Amazing.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. I needed to have like some kind of seafood creature that's still moving.
It's a new flavor experience.
Yeah.
And behind the stand, the nacho stand, like you're close to the night market. There's like more and more stalls along the street as you go. It's kind of like a central thoroughfare through the city. You notice behind it a little hanging sign above a building, above a door with some blackout curtains covering the windows that says Vincent Trench, Private Eye.
What?
What's he doing?
I guess
should
that,
go. Yeah, we
They
should go into
beelines
yeah,
for
yeah, totally.
that.
We totally
that makes
headed
all
to-
kinds of sense.
Yep. We
That's
headed
why
to
he's
Vincent
gone
Trench's.
all the
The door
time.
open, and like the saccharine smell of like sweet cigarette smoke wafts out as you kick the door open. Inside, it is exactly the same as his office in Troll Skull Alley.
Is there a torchy saxophone playing
There
in the
is.
background?
There's a
Nice. Lots of Venetian blinds.
yeah.
You were all in black and white for some reason.
Time slows down, and on the far side of the room, sitting in a really comfortable looking chair, you notice a little light on that ignites a cigarette, which goes into the mouth of Vincent Trench.
Vinny!
Private Eye. He says, "The silver waves of justice. You made it."
Were you expecting us?
Of course.
Of course you were.
Word gets around fast since last week.
Oh, we're surprised to see you here, Vinny.
He says, "Well, that makes 4 of us. 5 of us," he says, and winking at Zellifarn. He says, "What can I do for you?"
You're not counting yourself.
There's 6 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Scoot's kind of over it already.
Yeah, I'm over like tapping on the walls to see if the whole shop ports back and forth. I'm probably not as subtle about it as I should be.
Roll Knowledge Arcana. Or whatever the frickin' 5th edition skill is.
Oh, that's a good
That'll
roll.
do well.
Pretty good roll.
22.
Just barely.
You sense powerful planar magic, but it's not clear like what the source is. It's kind of this whole room you're in.
Man, I'm delighted.
Yeah, and honestly, like that's kind of a thing in the Radiant Citadel overall. Like here you are, you've gathered that you're in the deep ethereal. Like it's not, you don't. That's like the far reaches of the ethereal plane, like away from the regular ethereal plane. You know, where boring stuff happens, like ghosts and things. So,
Really moving the goalposts on yourself, aren't you?
story power creep.
What are you doing here?
He says, "This is a place of business. Do you need anything any questions answered?"
Oh, we've got tons of gold now. I reach into the garbage bag of gold and just like start passing them out. I probably already started once the nachos came into play.
He says, "My rates have gone up.
No.
Start putting them back
1,000 gold per question.
in. What a dick move.
Tariffs are high here. What can I say?
But wait, are you
What
here
do
like
you-
charging refugees to answer their
It's
questions?
a place of business.
Sorry, Zay. What were
To
you
each
gonna say?
according to their means. That's one of the rules here, and you guys have means."
Well, it's all in Scoot's bag. I don't have anything.
He just grins at Scoot.
I do appreciate that about Trench, though, that he would adjust it down by means.
Or up.
Or up.
I'm not a fan of level scaling myself.
He says, "Tell you what, if you bring me one of Sid Squid's crab cakes, I'll answer your one question for free off the bat. I can't get the smell out of this fucking office no matter how much I light up."
Sid Squid's crab cakes.
That was my one F word for the episode. PG-13, baby.
Wait, you can't get the smell of the crab cakes out?
Yeah.
But you want us to bring you one?
Yeah, because he's craving them. 'cause
craving
he's
one.
smelling
I
them.
see. Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Zay, do you have one in one of your pouches by chance?
Did we pass by that booth on our way here?
No, you have not yet.
Okay.
Probably not.
We'll go find you
What
some.
are you trying to imply, Scoot?
Yeah, you're handy and have a lot of things. You've got a thing for that most of the time.
It's true. I no longer have any herring.
Yeah. Thank you for remembering. I was going to say halibut.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll definitely look for Sid Squid.
Much obliged.
How long have you been living here?
That's not a question that we want to pay for, though.
Yeah.
Friend?
I don't think you can afford that answer. Zayrene Rumblestride.
Have you been talking to my sister?
He just casually keeps smoking.
Hey, I have a question.
question?
I have a question about Zay's sibling. Scoot, can I borrow a... No, never mind. I don't have 1,000. But I think we should go find Sid Squid because we should ask Vinny here about Zay's siblings.
Let's go get crab
We
cakes.
could think of a good question.
We'll be right back. Vincent.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Depending
Make sure you close the door on the way out.
Where's Sid Squid?
No.
He says, I'll give you that one for free. He's down at the night market.
Great.
Oh, this
We
is just
happen to
on
be
the
heading
way
there.
to the night market.
Right.
Okay.
I don't love running errands, but I'm not above it.
Yeah. To save 1,000 gold.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
You know how much these are going to cost, right? $9.99.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice to see you, Vinny.
Says, yeah, you too. Good luck out there.
I like that we all came in as a group, didn't solve anything, and then all left as a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zelifar lingers for a bit like he wants to ask a question and then kind of trounces out behind you guys.
Zelifar, what did you want to ask him?
What that thing was that happened a week ago.
Yeah, we should ask him that too.
Okay.
All right. When we come back, we'll ask him about that.
Okay.
We proceed towards the night market.
And it gets louder and more festive as you make your way down. People are like cheering you on and greeting you. Like there's some of the refugees that you brought are already here, like in new outfits, like all healed up, like enjoying the delights of the city. It seems like in general, food is either very cheap or free in the city. People like there's not like a really strong like money-based economy. Like people are given what they need. And the bartering is more for more expensive stuff or for bulk stuff just to keep the fuel of business turning.
This makes sense. We get money, they change the rules.
Yeah.
I unsling my concertina. I am just playing kind of traveling music as we walk. Probably some folk ballads of what we've done in our adventures, but I'm incorporating the tones of that crystal.
Amazing. I'm trying to imagine how that would sound. That's people love it. Roll performance.
21.
Yeah. A small parade forms as people kind of cheer you on and enjoy your music, and it's just a good night in the Radiant Citadel.
Amazing.
As you make your way towards like a large plaza that kind of builds out from like about halfway down the Auroral Diamond, you notice there's a kind of a staircase leading up to a big open doorway, like right on the face of the diamond. And below that staircase is this big plaza with several tents set up with different features. It's kind of like a sort of a festival area on top of being right in the middle of the night market. So there's different. You notice there's like a hot pepper eating contest in one direction. There's a couple brothers trying to like lure you in. Like win some prizes, win our family's famous yogurt. Come on in. There's one
yogurt?
tent for Sid Squid's. It's actually Sid Squid's Battle Prawns, the shrimpening. It says on the sign above the tent.
I also am now craving those crab cakes.
Yeah,
so I'm
and
a
various other
beeline for that one.
things and sundries. Into the Battle Prawns.
Yeah.
All right, and it's kind of like a circus tent. There's everybody else. What's your MO?
Oh,
as
yeah, I
Ilka
follow.
takes off.
I follow Ilka.
Zay looks longingly at the famous yogurt stand, but continues to follow
Say battle prawns.
her friends.
Scoot's eyes have definitely got wider with possibilities of the area, but following the group.
Okay, inside it's sort of like a circus tent with bleachers ringing this central performance area on the ground level. You notice kind of a carnival barker guy in the middle who is introducing himself as Sid Squid to the audience. He's kind of this like hustler looking guy, and he's got this team of what looks like sous chefs behind him, all wearing yellow aprons and hats. And in the middle of this arena, there are three things of note. There are two big prep tables that are covered in what looks like green beans and other vegetables, like these big, like foot-long green beans. There are two giant sizzling woks that seem ready to cook. And then on the other side, there's this massive fish tank, like building-sized fish tank with kind of dark, murky shapes like swimming around in it.
A building-sized fish tank?
Like a house.
Like a single
family
level.
house. Yeah.
Okay. Like a cottage.
Yeah,
A
like a
cottage of
cottage.
fish.
Of fish, but it's like dark water and there's big things in it. And Sid's inviting any takers in the crowd to take part in Sid Squid's Battle Prawns, the shrimpening. Step right up, step right up.
Is he looking for teams? Or
He's looking for
singletons?
4 contestants to help his crack team of sous chefs to break the record and cook a shrimp cake in record time.
Hey, there's 4 of us.
I'm
5.
so in.
There are 5 of us.
There's Zelifar.
So far.
Yeah,
Zelfarn's like,
with
I don't know much about cooking, guys. I kind of want to watch you do your thing, okay?
Okay.
I don't know anything about
Okay.
cooking.
Zay rushes forward, volunteering
with
all
that.
of us. I rush forward and volunteer us.
I like when we get stunned with a basic comment like,
Yep.
I don't know anything about cooking, and it just shuts everything down. It's like,
that
how do I
pause was the
respond?
sound of my mouth contorting, trying to find an answer.
Went to his roll table.
Yeah.
Answer basic
Let
question.
me roll a D100 and see
Yeah.
an answer.
It's got a magic 8-ball behind his screen.
So the crowd is cheering as you step forward. He says, "I'm looking for 4 volunteers. You miss with the pouches. You look ready to cook.
I'm ready.
What's your name?
I've got 3 friends. My name is Zay.
And these 3?
These 3.
Where's Zay's friends?
It's the newcomers, everyone. He recognizes you. He's like, it's the newcomers from the Sword Coast, and everyone cheers.
Oh, and once
Zay
I
claps along.
once I realize we're recognized, I stand up a little bit. Oh shit! Now we got to represent.
They're a mystery-solving, crime-fighting crack squad, from what I've gathered. Is
That's
that
right. We're SWOJ.
Do you cook as well as you fight crime?
Not
Some of
really.
Well, actually, as well as we fight crime, probably.
Oh no!
Well, here's how this is going to go down. You 4 are going to take positions at the prep tables in the middle.
Okay.
I call chopping.
My sous chefs will stand by the woks and wait for the ingredients. Once the beans are chopped and the prawns are slain, drag them over to the sous chefs and they'll cook up the meal.
Where do I go? Slain prawns? I should probably slay prawns.
Yeah, you should probably slay prawns.
Yeah, I think I'm slaying prawns.
I suspect they're going to be bigger than the standard crayfish.
I might need to chop beans.
You and your axe go slay the
Oh,
prawns.
fine, I'm going. I head over towards the giant prawns.
All right. He says, I'll start a countdown. The record is 1 minute. You can get them all chopped up over to the sous chefs. They can cook these things in 30 seconds flat. So
So maybe you should 2 of us go fight the prawns and 2 of us cut vegetables, or 3 fight the prawns and 1 cut the vegetables?
if you need a minute, we got about a minute before the show starts.
I'll cut vegetables.
I'm with Scoot. We're going to go beat
All
up.
right. How do we get him out of the tank?
So that's up to there are 2 staircases going up to the top of the tank, like just person-sized stairs to reach the edge, and it's like an open tank on top. So he's like, you pull them out.
Okay.
All
Don't
right.
break the tank, please.
Oh.
And make sure if you're chopping, don't use any kind of funny magic, right? We don't want any like acid or lightning or anything affecting the taste of the cakes.
What about fire?
It's not just about speed, it's about quality. Fire in moderation, my friend.
We're good.
Always.
I'm going to be mincing them with my blades.
I can't wait to see it. And there are like a lot of knives, like of various varieties, all over the tables already if you want to use those. Or you can use your own knives too.
I'm going to use my own knives.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Zay climbs up the ladder and perches over the edge, waiting for the timer to start.
Okay, below you, you just see these giant murky shapes. Nothing surfaces, though.
right.
Swimming back and forth.
I'm gonna turn into a shark, you guys.
Better than what I was gonna do.
I'm gonna try to toss him out of the tank.
I'll catch.
All right, you have your positions?
Yep.
So yeah, my goal is to catch the prawn and then throw it someplace where it can be chopped.
I'm
Unless
here
you
with-
want to shatter the tank. Sorry.
They specifically said don't
Don't
break the tank.
Okay, don't break the tank. Okay.
And Ilka and Nark, where are you guys?
I'm here with my song sword.
I'm chopping vegetables.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Roll for initiative.
Oh no! I hope I get high.
18 for Ilka.
17 for Zay.
16 for Lark.
Nice.
Scoot was feeling lucky.
And
Nat 20.
Nice.
Scoot, my friend, you go first.
Can I hold an action?
Sure. What's your trigger? What?
Once a prawn gets tossed up to me or within grabbing range, I'm reacting to a prawn coming at me. Whether it comes to the edge of the tank, where I'm like standing up like on a dock type area. Is that?
It's like a little platform at the level of the edge of the tank. So
Am I
kind of like a dock.
am I standing like a pool or am I reaching over?
It's like you're standing at the edge of a swimming pool.
Okay.
Essentially.
Yeah, so I'm standing there waiting for Zay to bring up a prawn. If something gets thrown up, I'm going to catch it and throw it away from the edge of the tank so it doesn't get away. So I'm just waiting for that to happen.
Okay. Ilka takes us to you,
Um,
I believe. Yep.
I'm in the same boat. We're waiting for Zay to throw them up out of the water.
You got a bunch of stuff to chop in front of you, though, or are you waiting by the tank?
I'm chopping.
Okay, so you're waiting to like start chopping something as it gets thrown out of the
Start
water.
shattering prawns.
Got it. Okay, so Zay, then it's your turn.
So I'm gonna swim at using my shark sense a creature to try to bite it and then toss it.
There's some kind of giant. So you jump in the water as a shark.
Yes, I leap into the air, transform into a reef shark, and like in the air and then land and dive in.
In the water, there are these massive, like 10-foot crawfish swimming around with massive, like lobster claws.
Yeah, I go at one.
Okay, make an attack roll. They don't seem hostile at first.
16.
Hits.
Nice.
Okay.
So you're gonna bite and then try to throw.
Yeah. So 6 piercing damage, and then I'm gonna try to toss it out of the tank.
All right. Make a because you grapple automatically as a shark. Is that what it says?
It doesn't.
Okay. You would probably want to do a grapple then and then a throw, not like a damage roll. So actually,
I'll
roll.
do it. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll say you chomp onto it and start. You heave it like halfway out of the tank, but these things are way bigger than you expected, so you can't like totally just like chuck it as a shark.
Okay. I try to chuck it toward.
Can she surface it?
Yes.
I surface it.
So Scoot and Ilka, you both see this huge crab, this huge like crawfish with like tentacles coming out of its mouth, and it's like really magical and disturbing looking with like extra legs. It's clearly not your typical crawfish. Gets thrown out of the water. No sign of Zay down below in the murk, but this thing is like dangling and swinging its arms around. So Scoot, you can reach it.
Yay! I'm gonna try to get it up and out.
Strength roll.
Strength roll. Would that be athletics?
Sure.
16.
Okay.
Did they say how many there are?
There are more in there for sure. You count at least 3 other ones.
Okay, are we supposed to be able to get them all?
Or do we just need one to turn it into cakes?
Just one to turn it into cakes.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay.
So have fun in the tank as long as you want to stay.
Okay.
Yeah. So you pull it out and throw it, but the weight of it takes you with it, Scoot, and you kind of tumble down with it, the 15 feet down to ground level where Ilka is waiting.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
That's on brand for Scoot.
Sure.
All right, I wave my song sword up in the air. You hear the sweet strains of Under the Sea, and I cleave it down on the prawns.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
We are banned now.
It's under 10 seconds. We can't be copyrighted. Yep. Okay, make an attack roll.
I make a slicey
With
slicey
advantage.
at the little prawns. Noggin. And that does well. 19.
Hits.
Well, I guess I should have done that too. But I was a
Hits.
19. I whack its prawny little head off with my song sword.
Roll damage.
I haven't used my song sword.
It's got a thick carapace.
Yeah.
You got the exploding sword back,
No,
right?
I don't. Zellifarn has it.
Farron has it.
Farron's got it. That's what I meant to say. Farron's still got the exploding sword, right?
Yep.
No, that's damage. You want this one? 4.
4 damage. Big money, big money. Yeah, the carapace is much thicker and harder than you expected, and you kind of gouge it a little bit.
Damn.
Takes us to Lark. You got a whole table of veggies in front of you.
Yes, I have my rapier drawn and my dagger, and I want to start in a whir of blades dicing.
Make a couple attack rolls.
All right.
Attack the vegetables.
Yes. They have AC of 10.
Lordy. And I'm there's no way I have well, they have AC of 10? Okay, I just rolled a 3 plus 7. So I have 10?
You fall into them and hit them, yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say they're prone. Does he have advantage?
No, but you got a 10, so you hit.
Okay, so I hit. Yeah. I sort of I'm thrown that they're not moving, so I fumble around, but I do manage to hit.
You're like dancing around even though they're not threatening you at all.
Yeah, and I'll roll my offhand just so that I have the same die, and that is a nat 20
Nice.
on my offhand. So
Roll your damage.
all
You can
right.
have sneak attack damage if you want.
Nice. All right.
I thought the last game was crazy, but here we are up in it.
3, 5.
We got,
Pretty great.
yeah,
The
Iron
shark got jumped.
Iron Chef encounter. I love it.
My
This
thought
is the
overcooked.
episode where we jump the shark, literally. Damn.
18, 21 damage.
21. Yeah, you shred all of the veggies in front of you in the space of 6 seconds, Lark. How do you go about, like do you present it then to the chefs?
Absolutely.
Or, like, throw it at them? Or, like, what's your...
Oh, there's
ending? What's
definitely
your
a
flourish?
rakish flourish at the end.
Yeah.
I even, like, like have my hat off with a big bow, just like just a blur of blades. When they're done, spread it out on the table and then bow with my hat.
Amazing. And they actually like run up to you like in awe and like pick up the whole table and like haul it over to their woks to start like parsing it out on both woks and cooking it really fast. Takes us back to Scoot.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go for it in rage right now.
Angry chef.
Angry chef.
Gordon Ramsaying out.
Angry chef, but yet still very pleased with how this plan has played out so far.
Great.
And I would like to use my giant flamey axe and attack the same spot that Ilka did.
Interesting.
Going towards the head of the prawn, just to try to get it out of its misery and let it get to our pot. Ooh, bad jail just fell on me. Okay. So, first is a 14.
Does not hit.
Ooh, all right. Second is 23.
Super hit.
Okay, so I'm doing 2d6 plus 4 to start.
This thing's thrashing around at you.
So that's 14 damage, physical damage. I think it's slashing. And then follow that up with 12 fire damage.
Wow. It smells delicious.
Yay!
The thing mostly looks angry, not downed at this point.
Oh.
And it goes lunging for you, Scoot, with its 2 massive claws.
Well, good luck.
It gets a 10.
Nope.
And a 23.
Okay.
23 hits you.
Yeah.
The first one was a 1.
Which claw got me?
The right claw.
Okay.
You take 9 damage.
Halved to 4 or 5?
Halved to 5.
Halved to 5.
And you make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 10.
You are poisoned, Scoot.
Oh,
you feel
boy.
extremely numb all over your body.
I don't like
Really
that.
poison.
Yep. As it kind of like pulls you into its tentacles and its mouth, and like, and like there's like a venom on the tentacles that like washes over you and makes your limbs lock up. You're paralyzed.
Gross.
Oh no.
Yep.
I'm poisoned and paralyzed, or?
The paralysis is the poison.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. So Ilka, it's your turn then.
Yeah, I'm after it again with my song sword. Trying to make a dent in exactly the same spot.
Yeah.
We've all rolled for. A crit fail.
Oh no!
Do I have advantage? Because it's over attacking Scoot.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you can roll again. Yep. That's fair. Double crit fail.
No, it's not a whole lot better. That's a 9.
Okay. Yeah. It bashes your arm away with its remaining claw. It's much more angry now than even it was 6 seconds ago because you guys cooked it and stabbed it. Takes us to Ilka.
Say?
Or fucking...
Oh, that's your second fuck.
And now that's 3.
Fucking balls. Okay. Zay.
Now it's 4.
They do add up so quickly.
I'm just hogging all of you guys. We each get 1, right? Is that how it works?
No, I don't think so.
I'll ask the FCC when I talk to them on Tuesday.
Zay swims toward. I swim toward the ladder, transform back into a halfling. I look down to assess the situation. What do I see?
You see a kind of ragdolling Scoot, like being held up to the mouth of this giant crab thing as Ilka tries to stab it and gets bashed back and forth by its giant claw. Meanwhile, Lark is like flourishing and like crowd grandstanding as these chefs haul away these minced up veggies over to the woks.
I cast fairy fire on the creature.
Wow.
It has to pass. It has to pass a dexterity save.
It gets a 13. So it fails.
It fails. So it now glows a light pink. And any attack rolls against it have advantage.
Wonderful. It
And
looks
it cannot
amazing.
turn invisible.
Well,
It looks amazing.
there goes my strategy.
Just in case you were thinking about it. And then I'm going to cast Balm of the Summer Court on Scoot. I want him to feel nice and cozy while he's being
Poisoned and paralyzed.
and paralyzed.
Ingested.
That's nice.
Dude, poisoned is so much nicer than paralyzed.
Yeah.
It sucks. I'm looking it up now.
So you kind of go into this like fugue, like dream state, Scoot, as you're paralyzed. Like these good vibes wash over you.
So you have 16 hit points back and a temporary hit point on top of that.
Cool.
Very nice.
Does it heal the paralysis?
It does not.
Okay.
Takes us to Lark.
I start to look over to the group to say, "Hey, I'm done with the veggies. How's it going?" And I see that's not going super well, so I run over and attack the prawn.
Great. Make an attack with advantage.
All right. So that's an 18 for my
Certainly.
regular attack, or it's a 24, and then 15 for my offhand.
The first one hits.
Okay. So then 19 hit points of damage.
Wow. Nice. Yeah, you get it right in its heart, and it kind of staggers for a moment, but doesn't drop. Scoot.
Leave my friend alone!
It's in pretty rough shape at this point. It doesn't react to your taunt, though. It's starting to stagger. Takes us back to Scoot. Make a Constitution save, Scoot.
That's the only thing I can do because I'm paralyzed, which means incapacitated. Okay. 13 that time.
You succeed just barely. So at the end of that round, you come to again as the balm kind of fades from your mind.
I feel fine.
Yeah.
I feel great. I can feel stuff, kind of warm.
Scoot, you're okay.
Maybe too warm.
Still grappled, though. It's still like shaking you around, but
What
now
are you
you're...
What are you doing with that prawn?
I'm distracting it. Is it working?
Yeah, great.
It really likes your Richard Nixon impression. It tries to bash Lark, since you just stabbed it really hard with its free claw, and then it squeezes on Scoot as well. So it gets a 19 on you, Lark.
That hits.
And then Scoot, it actually misses you. It gets a 2 and a 3. So you resist its attack, even though you're grappled. Somehow, like you just take it by the chin and don't feel any pain
Okay.
Nice.
as it squeezes you. Like your muscles, you're so ripped.
Or I'm just like, I probably have my arms trying to open up the jaw a little bit.
Sure,
too.
yeah, like you keep it from squeezing you.
Yeah.
But Lark, you take
A little strong, guys.
you take 11 damage.
And what is the nature of that damage?
It is
It's hitting me with a claw?
bludgeoning damage. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I uncanny dodge half of it, so I do kind of a Matrix Neo move, but I don't bend far enough, so
You
I
get
get
primed.
half hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So
take
that's for
6 damage.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you make a Constitution saving throw as well.
All right.
You succeed.
13.
Yep, you succeed. But it still grabs you, Lark, like by your foot as you're like dodging. It just barely snags you, and you kind of like fall down as you're held by it. So it's holding Lark and Scoot. Ilka, it's your turn.
All right. I was holding off magicking it, but I guess we're just going for magic. I'm gonna dissonant whispers at it and make it all scared and uncomfortable.
Okay.
It needs a wisdom save.
It gets a 9.
It loses on the wisdom save. It takes 13 damage, and it needs to run away because it is hearing the wretched sound of "My Heart Will Go On" a plastic recorder.
Okay.
You know,
I've heard that.
As a
Nightmare.
reaction. So it runs like into the stands. Like people like peel away screaming as this giant crab holding Lark and Scoot like runs away.
Yeah,
As the sound of "My Heart Go On" fills the room.
the note is it must move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Yeah. So it's running into the audience.
Great.
Oh, no.
kinda
A
perfect.
couple of city guards kind of like appear from somewhere behind and start trying to like fend it back, and it kind of gets stuck in between the guards and you guys. Like they're not attacking it, but they're like just trying to keep it from running amok completely.
Great. Well, y'all get opportunity as the thing runs away.
you know how there's like people.
That's true.
Oh, well, I'm held in its claws.
Yeah,
so-
You two do though, Ilka and Zay, since you're both close to it. Actually, you're up on the deck. But
I'm
I
up on the
don't
deck, yeah.
Doesn't work that way?
I think mechanically that's incorrect. I think it has to be a choice for the mob to run away. In this case, it is not a choice, so it is a reaction.
It doesn't say one way or the other.
if it's moving away though, she still gets a reaction to attack, right? I mean, regardless of whether the monster chose to or not.
You decide and let us, and we'll continue that way. But then I'll look up the rule.
Yeah, I think, you know, as long as it's moving away from you, you still have a reaction available, so you'd attack it.
Great. I'm going to swing my song sword at it.
Yeah, and we'll see. Might as well, though.
15.
Hits. 15 misses. But you have advantage. Did you incorporate that? Because it's glowing pink also.
15 again.
Yeah, no. No, you catch the tail end of it and don't really do any damage.
So now you can like spend extra money to buy beef that's like happy cows.
Yeah.
And then you like feel better about.
Yeah, they were well treated.
And this is the opposite of that. Like he's gonna eat this crab cake and everyone should feel sad about it.
It's your turn.
I'm unclear as to whether I should cast Moonbeam because it's holding my friends, so they'd be within. There'd be like, is there such a thing as friendly fire? I feel like I should know
There
this
is,
already.
yeah.
But
And
yeah,
if you're like a powerful wizard,
right,
you can like
we
shape
knew
your
this.
magic, but you
yeah,
cannot
because
as...
I've injured Scoop before.
But you healed me, so
It's
I'd say
true.
I'm due. I mean, it kind of balances everything out.
Yeah,
so.
I mostly dodged the.
Go for it, sir.
I'm hanging in the claw, but I look pretty healthy. See.
By the way, now I'm just picturing us fighting Zoidberg.
Okay.
Well,
are
now that's what I'm
there-
picturing. Thanks.
Its
Are
arms are up in the
there-
air, holding Larkin Scoop.
Did people flee enough that there's a 5-foot radius
Yes.
around the bad guy?
Yes.
Okay, he's not a bad guy. He's a poor little
Scared
future
prawn.
meat creature. I cast Moonbeam
Wonderful.
on the prawn.
Con save.
Con save.
It gets a 18.
Okay, so half damage. 6.
6. 74. You hear like a hissing sound as it starts to steam as if it's being cooked.
You're welcome, I say to the other sous chefs.
And they're kind of like slowly crowding closer to it to like catch it when it dies, when it finally goes down.
Oh man.
Like they're waiting for it because they want to like get it to like walk as fast as they can. Takes us to Lark. Make a dexterity, an escape DC, so like athletics or acrobatics.
Zay yells out, if we get it this turn,
I have
we
a
can
nat
beat the
20,
record.
and with my expertise in acrobatics, that would be 30.
Yeah, you can take an attack as well if you want. Lark.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, you just like ferret your way out, silver ferret your way out.
Silver ferret my way out. So
30.
I have a dirty 20 for my standard attack and a 18 for my offhand.
Both hit.
23 points of damage.
Yeah, you slay it however you choose to.
Well, I'm focused on Scoot, I think. So like when I flip out of the thing, I see that it still has Scoot, and I hack it in whatever way seems that would be like the free Scoot.
Okay, so like you leap from the claw that you're on into the claw that Scoot's on and kind of snick all the tendons that are holding him. And Scoot drops and the thing staggers to a halt.
And then one final stab right through it.
Right into the head, and it goes down. The sous chefs rush in. Do any of you help the sous chefs, or do you like they're rushing it over to the woks to cook it?
Yeah, I
in
totally
record
do.
time. Okay. Anybody
Yeah,
else?
and it takes them 30 seconds,
Yeah.
which means we've done this in about 48 seconds.
Well, it
we'll
takes about
see.
6 seconds to drag it over as well. With everyone helping, you run it fast.
Yeah.
You sprint it over, and throw it on the woks, and they just get to work peeling it back and cutting out the good parts and throwing them on the wok, and it's like a magic wok, so it just like starts sizzling like crazy. Huge gouts of fire and smoke fill the room. It smells
I help.
amazing.
Regular walks do that too.
Yeah, but this is just like amplified.
Super fast.
Yeah.
Magic
Amazing.
walk.
Yeah.
30-second walk.
And in 54 seconds, one round under the record, you all have this amazing looking shrimp cake, like a massive shrimp cake. And Sid Squid's like, they've done it, everybody, they've done it. We got some winners here. Let it be known that the Sword Coast folks know how to cook a prawn. This has been Sid Squid's Leak Shop's Shrimpageddon, or whatever it was called.
Battle prawns, the
Prawn for
shrimpening.
Shrimpageddon.
Shrimpageddon. So it's going in the obsidian
Anybody
notes.
want a bite? There's enough for everyone.
Yeah.
And the crowd comes back carefully at first when they're like worried about prawn attacks, but people are starting to file back in from outside. The guards are letting everyone know outside that it's safe. Come on back in. Don't worry. It's pretty normal.
I grab Sid Squid and let him know we need an extra helping for a friend of ours.
He says, "Of course, whatever you want. You can take as much home as you like.
Great.
I'll tell everyone about what you did here today."
How long does it last?
Thanks, Sid.
Does it keep?
He says, "Not very well."
Great. Then I start eating some.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yep.
He's like, "It tastes a little more charred than usual, but it's a nice touch."
I like
Nice
it.
touch.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it taste sad and
It
frightened?
tastes a little purple or pink. Did you say?
Yeah, pink.
Tastes a little pink. The frightened part, I mean, that's kind of a given. You did murder it. Don't worry about it.
Oh.
In front of its peers.
I don't feel great about that.
Sid's a bit more, casual about killing.
Well, I mean,
things
he
food.
runs the battle prawn, so
Yeah.
I take several for Vinny.
Yeah, Zay doesn't try any.
Yeah.
She's never had to murder her own food before, and it's giving her new perspective.
Do you eat the beans, though?
Yes.
Yeah, the beans
are they sea beans?
They are tree beans, actually.
Oh, tree beans.
Yep.
Okay.
But they're very, very good.
They've been expertly diced.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I've never done it before. I just had to figure it out.
Yep, Scoot definitely takes some as well.
Zelfarn's like, oh my gosh, you guys, that looks delicious. And he just chows down. He eats like way more than one person should.
That's all right. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I'm just plopped down on the arena floor, like oil and butter all over my face. So just going to town.
Nice. Yeah, sweet.
Let's head back to Vincent Trench's.
Yes, please.
All right, you make your way back. Crab cake in tow.
Literally.
And he opens the door for you this time as you get there.
Did you smell us coming?
He's like, I did.
We have some crab cakes for you.
All right.
One crab cake per question, right?
Just one question, thank you.
Well, then, one crab cake.
He narrows his eyes and looks at Lark for a good 5 or 6 seconds and then says, I can live with that.
I've got a whole bunch of crab cakes here that I thought would be worth 2 questions.
Listen, I'm not an open book. I just wanted some crab cake.
Yeah, 2 questions for 6 crab cakes. I mean, that seems like a good deal.
Let's give one of the crab cakes, like covertly give one of them. Well, like that's possible in front of Vinny. Give one of them to Zelfarn and suggest that he stick around just in case, so he can ask his own question after we go.
Sure. So, my friend Zay has a question for you.
He raises his eyebrows.
What can you tell me about my siblings?
He says, I will have to get back to you on that. But Vincent Trench is on the case.
Nice.
You can find me here, wherever here is, he says.
How long until we can come back and find out some information from you?
He says, come back in a 10-day.
10 day.
That seems like a good deal.
Yeah, I'm all right with this. It's thorough.
That's right. I will dot the I's and cross the T's.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Or he'd be like me and just wait 9.5 days and then do it on the 10th day.
Yep.
And then Zelfarn comes over and kind of asks his question quietly to Vincent as well, saying, what's going on inside the diamond? Something talk to me. And Vincent's like, well, that one I can answer right now. And I'll answer for free, because it's actually kind of common knowledge in this city. Inside the auroral diamond here in the Radiant Citadel is where it's called the Preserve of the Ancestors. It's this kind of amazing little pocket dimension where spirits like to congregate. So probably what's going on, my little dragon friend, is that there are some spirits in there that are calling to you.
Whoa.
For whatever reason, I don't know.
To the center of the diamond.
And you think that was the black shadowy friend that stood behind Zelfarn?
He said you didn't say anything about
Friend?
a dark, shadowy friend.
I did see a dark shadow standing behind Zelfarn, and it was making a whistling sound.
When you say whistling sound, he furrows his eyebrows and seems very concerned. He says, I can't speak to that.
Oh.
That's unusual.
Yeah. Would it be unusual for the spirit to come out of the diamond and, call somebody in?
Not necessarily, no.
Oh, okay. That's
no,
not
this is the ethereal plane. It's the plane of spirits.
I suppose. The whistling's weird.
Definitely.
Okay. He's a banshee and not a spirit.
Maybe, although banshees aren't known for their whistling necessarily.
I was trying to think of a ghost that whistles.
Well, and often they're just visual illusion. They don't make sound.
Yeah.
So if it does...
Well, maybe we'll find out in the Preserve of the Ancestors.
Neat.
Thanks, Vinny. Anything else you want to throw in for another crab cake? We'll take any information.
He says, look, I'm here if you need me.
Okay.
I appreciate the cake, but I also could use some change.
Oh, some change?
If you want to do more business, he says.
I see. Okay.
He kind of gets serious again.
He wants some of that jingle.
Can't be too chummy, he says, in this profession.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Well, Scoot still wants to go see if there's anybody who can look at this axe material and just to get an idea of what it's made of, or if there's any special properties or any special warnings, things like that. Because this is the most out there I've been.
Yeah, well, roll investigation as you guys make your way through the night. Where are you guys heading overall? What's your...
Let's investigate the night market and head towards the preserve of the ancients.
Of the ancestors.
The
yeah.
ancestors.
Do we pass through the night market to get to the preserve?
Yeah, the big door to the preserve is like right behind the Sid Squid crab store. The stairs up to that big door that you guys saw.
Convenient.
Yep.
I was a 16 on investigation.
Okay. Yeah, you find all sorts of merchants that are hawking all kinds of wares, including magic weapons. So, like, what's your ask as you go around?
I'm looking mostly for blacksmiths, not necessarily a reseller, but somebody who might know about this material. That's more of my interest.
You find a shop of kobold blacksmiths that seem to be working with all kinds of fantastic metals, like not just steel, but there's like colored metals and stained metals, and looks like kind of like Damascus steel, you know, like all kinds of amazing things. And they're very busy.
Yeah.
There's a crowd watching them work.
Yep. Any attendant? Anybody running the register?
Yeah. And one of the kobolds comes up to you and says, hey, what do you want, buddy?
I pulled down the axe and I was like, "Is there anything you can tell me about this material? Hi, nice to meet you."
Hi. Hey, you, Bubbo. That looks like a pretty nice axe you got there.
It does, and I'm just wondering if you know anything about
It's
it.
like, hey guys, come over, and like the kobolds kind of stop what they're doing, and a bunch of them like swarm around and take a look, and they're all like, "Whoa, wow, can we touch it? Hey, that's cool."
Yeah.
Great. And they're kind of like hefting it, and they're like, "Wow, it's so lightweight. Ah, look at that core in the middle. That's amazing."
Yeah.
They're like, "This looks like some real star metal. Something must have landed on you wherever you got this. Whoever made this."
Star metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something fell from the sky. This isn't the kind of stuff you dig up from the earth, at least not in the world we come from.
Have you ever? Yeah. So you've seen stuff like this before?
Sure.
Yep. You work with star metal often?
No, it's pretty rare.
Pretty rare.
Pretty rare, at least in this purity and quantity.
Where would you go if you needed to get some more of star metal? Or
I would probably talk to either someone very rich or someone very, let's say, above the law, so to speak.
Yep. Somebody who's got some connections.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's rare enough.
Do you know? Have you heard of anybody who works with star metal?
They say, we have not here in the Radiant Citadel.
Okay.
You can maybe talk to one of the speakers or someone who's been around a bit more. But we mostly do contract jobs here with whatever people bring us.
Interesting. Ooh, so yeah, you guys make out of what they bring in, huh?
Yeah, here at Binzo's Weapon Emporium.
Binzo's.
It's we'll work with whatever you got.
All right.
We're a crack team. We have a lot of experience between us.
And they have like items on display.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm probably like, okay, well, thank you for the information. I'll definitely be back. I'll kind of look at your wares, then be on my way.
They're like, you bet, no problem. Take care, bud. Yeah, all right.
And I just kind of give a cursory glance and look at descriptions and.
Yeah, it seems like very high quality work.
Nice.
Yep, and like shapes and kinds of weapons you like have never seen before, like from, clearly from other places.
Gotcha.
You've never been.
As we move through the night market, I'm looking for foods that I've never tried before. So foods that would be.
Yeah, there's
other places.
Spicy yogurt, all kinds of vegetables, like strange bean dishes, curries and spices, just stuff you never tried before. Again, this is like a new place.
Yeah, so I'd like to try as many of those as I can, seeing if maybe something triggers a familiarity of maybe a memory or something of places that I've been before but just don't recall.
Like, what do you go for? What kind of food would speak to you?
Definitely gonna try some of the vegetable dishes. I'm drawn to places that have like small amounts that you can buy.
Tapas,
some small plates. So I can try just like a variety of foods. Particularly, probably avoiding seafood at this moment.
Sure.
A little too fresh.
Yeah, and in fact, you guys kind of have a reputation, like everyone's talking about what just went down at Sid Squid. So people offer you food, and you get some really amazing. It's like butter cooked vegetables, like grilled with all kinds of seasonings that are new to you. It's very hot and smoky. But yeah, it's great food.
But nothing that like triggers anything.
Nothing that really triggers anything. Okay. No.
Just new experiences.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's the most diverse food palette you've ever had that you can remember.
Guys, you should try this.
Is Elifarn still with us?
Yeah, he is. Yep.
Is he still carrying the exploding sword?
He is.
So I figure I'm also at the Kobold Binzo's
Yeah.
And I'm curious about both his exploding sword and my song sword.
Sure. They're not so sure about the song sword. When they see the sword of explosion, they're like, that's a sword of illusion, isn't it?
Illusion?
Yeah, look at this. And they like point to some like runes that are kind of hidden along the blade near the hilt. And they're like, see what this thing does is when you do something flashy with it, whatever that means to you, it can make things appear around you. And these runes are runes of explosion. So I would guess that if you were to, say, slay someone or do something very impressive, it might cause explosions to appear around you. Illusory explosions.
So they're not...
But nonetheless, explosions.
They're not actually blowing anything up. It just looks like it.
That's right.
Amazing.
That's right.
Being around this conversation and hearing this and realizing just how helpful, I want to see if we have any crab cakes left. I got to get these guys hooked up. They've been working. Whatever I have of my share of crab cakes, I'm dishing out to Benzo's.
They are incredibly grateful, but they are all busy right now too, so they kind of set them aside.
That's fine.
Yeah.
They're
like, y'all come back now.
Yep.
But they don't know anything about my song sword.
They're like, looks like a custom piece. I don't recognize the rune work. It's a bit more advanced.
I'll keep looking.
As we pass through the night market towards the preserve of the ancestors, I am going to look for refugees, either people that we recognize or people that I would guess are refugees, and I will hand out the rest of my crab cakes, since Vincent Trench wouldn't take any. More
you
than
find
one.
plenty of grateful people, and people cheer you on. There's the word of SWOJ is on the street now.
Nice.
Folks are talking about how impressive it was that you guys killed that prawn, and that you've been helping these refugees out. Yeah.
Cool.
I feel bad for Zay every time it comes up. That's what we're known for now, is killing these prawn, and it was sort of a traumatic experience.
SWOJ, the prawn killers.
Yeah, murders prawns without even asking their names.
Well, you don't know what those prawns did.
Oh, God.
Probably gave to charity. Donated time with kids.
As we're walking through the crowd, I'm going to be playing a very old song about a cabbage and 2 fish cakes, which is probably way, way out of public domain, so it's fine. It's from a black and white movie from the 40s called Captain's Courageous.
I won't ever be good at anything as Beth is at music shit.
So, dispensing cakes, soaking up the love, you all make your way to this portal, which is it's like a shadowy tunnel. Huge, like up the stairs towards the preserve of the ancestors, and I assume you go in.
Yeah.
Stop, turn around, head back to the short rest.
That's it.
That's good.
Mom, you'll never guess what we saw. But we're back.
When you pass through, it's like the light changes from like the kind of like the red light of the auroral diamond at night and the night market into this like sort of sunlight, and you realize you're kind of walking into like a Truman Show-esque dome of like sunlight inside of the diamond. It's kind of like a Savannah-esque situation there. It's like a wide open field with a sky. And in this field, there are all kinds of plants. There's like owlberry trees and dogwood and whistling thorns. And it's just a sort of wild space. Near the tunnel that you came out of, there are some small farms. And you see like a mill or two, a couple like small hillsides, but it's mostly a wide open place with like, you notice like sort of ghostly animals flitting around, like birds and other wildlife, deer, as well as at one point as you're walking in, this huge eagle made of obsidian just kind of takes off from a tree and flies away from you all after like talking to someone down below. It just kind of flies away. And people seem happy to see you here, but there's folks working even at night here. There's like farmers grinding up their goods and getting food ready.
At the Obsidian Eagle, I'm just like, what are we doing?
I move toward where the eagle flew away from to try to speak to the person that the eagle had been addressing.
Sure. It's one of the farmers. They're going back to their work, and they turn around and they're like, "Can I help you?"
Can you tell me more about that Obsidian Eagle?
Oh, that's just one of our ancestors. They're called the big one, the eagle, is known as an incarnate. You see, there's these, when a lot of spirits from a similar place or situation come together, they can form these stone creatures called incarnates. So many spirits are kind of contained within them. So I was just talking to one of my ancestors, catching up a little, getting some facts about my family.
Cool. My name's Zay. Who are you?
I'm Trill.
Hi, Trill.
Trill.
You thought a long time about that, Trill.
Trill Bono. Sorry, it's been a long day. I got to get back. I got to get back to the mill and keep cooking here. So.
Oh, you're the Trill from the mill.
Trill from the mill. That's right. We
Nice.
grind sugar.
Nice. Oh, it's a thrill to meet you, Trill from the mill.
Thank you. I hope you've all had your fill.
I'm just ticking off psychic damage for Scoot left and right. It's like each pun is 1 hit point.
Zelopharn seems distracted, like he's being drawn towards a cave that's sort of like over the fence and along the plain a little ways.
Yeah, I'm sticking with Zelopharn.
Yeah, before we leave, Trill, how do you know which of the incarnates have your ancestors in them? Like, do they come to you, or do you call to them? How does that work?
Oh, well, you see, he says, I'm from God's Breath, which is one of the founding cultures that moved into the Radiant Citadel years ago, and in each of our cultures has its own incarnate. And so sometimes I go back to the eagle to talk to them.
Okay, so you would just know that it's the eagle because of your
everyone
culture.
from God's Breath knows.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What about people from? Well, never mind. I'm trying to think of like how to. This is very very helpful. Thanks, Trill from the mill.
Sure, he says, looking a little skeptical.
I couldn't think of a good question, a good way to ask my question. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna move along.
All right, well, you take care, you good-smelling folk.
You're right.
You
Here,
have a
have a
good dinner
crab
tonight?
cake. I had one left.
Oh, thanks. I'll share it with the crew. And he holds it awkwardly and walks back towards the mill.
What a weird encounter.
I've been probably with Ilka slow follow on Zelopharn.
Yeah, I
just
run
see
to
what's
catch up.
going on with him.
Okay, so like at the cave mouth, you see Zelopharn kind of looking around like he hears something inside the cave. Then he starts to kind of carefully walk inside.
Probably nudge up beside him. Like, hey, buddy, what's going on?
He says, "Oh, I hear whispers. It sounds familiar to me."
We've never had a bad experience just entering a cave blindly before, so let's go.
There's like a soft light inside the cave coming from some crystals inside, kind of like in the spiral cavern. And as you get inside, you notice that there's like a little kind of like a leaf pile of crystals, sort of towards the back of the cavern. And sitting on that leaf pile is this little draconic-looking figure, maybe like the size of a dog, made of rose quartz, just kind of resting and watching you all as you enter.
How do you scruff a dog made of rose quartz?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it an effigy or is it?
No, it's a dragon made up of many small pieces of rose quartz that all kind of fit together magically to form
Kind
the
of like
shape
the
of a
obsidian.
dragon.
Is it? It's
Kind
another
of like the
incarnate.
eagle. Yeah, but
is
smaller.
It an
Yep.
incarnate?
Yep.
I'm going to slowly and carefully approach the dragon.
It's what's Farron doing?
He's walking up to it too, very carefully, like next to Ilka.
If
I'll stay behind
Zelopharn
him.
were to transform right now, would we all still fit in the cavern?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And he says hello, and then you kind of all telepathically hear this draconic sounding voice say, "Hello, welcome."
Hello. Good to meet you. We believe that our friend here is hoping to talk with you.
Yes, we come from a long line. We dragonkin. And it looks at Zelopharn and says, "We have much to discuss." And the two of them kind of like go into this sort of trance as they sort of just like commune with each other telepathically. How do you all react to this as this goes
I'm
down?
standing awkwardly, like trying not to like look, but also it's like looking a little bit and not sure where to like stand. But
Sure.
like,
Tapping
what do I do
your-
with my hands? you
Trying to
know?
find that social distance
Yeah.
where you look like you're not listening, but
Yeah.
you're actually definitely listening.
And Zelopharn's just going like, what? Oh, okay.
I see that the little dragon is made of crystals, and I really want to know if I tap them, if it'll make music.
You tap it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they break their conversation at that, and it does make a nice kind of tink sound.
It's such a Scoot move.
Ding!
And it looks at you and says like, "Do you mind?"
I'm so sorry. I'm deeply curious about sound. I'm sorry.
And Zelopharn turns and says, "Look, you guys, this thing knows some of my relatives, I think, and it's got this thing. I'm sorry, I don't know what to call you." And it's like it shakes its head and says, "We are many inside this form." And he's like, "Guys, I'm going to need a minute just to talk through this, if that's all right."
Yeah, no worries.
Yep.
Does the cave go deeper, or was this dragon just like hanging
Nope,
out?
this is like its lair. so to speak. It's got layer fixins.
And what kind of gem is this one?
It's like a rose quartz.
Rose quartz.
Yeah, which is similar to the spire that you guys came in on.
Okay.
Ooh.
Zay, I step out of the cavern and scan the skies again for the ghostly
Roll perception.
birds.
I think
Ghostly
Scoot's
birds.
Right? Didn't you say there was ghostly
Obsidian.
Oh, like spectral animals. Yeah.
spectral
Yep, yep, yep,
animals?
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Scoot got a little nervous when he realized that we did just stroll into a dragon's lair.
10.
10. You see some like in the distance, like a flock of them flying away. Then you hear the same whistled melody again.
Zay yells out, y'all?
Yeah.
I think
It
the
kind of
shadowy
echoes
figure
away.
is back.
I run out to see if I can see the shadowy figure.
Roll perception, Lark. I guess you wouldn't need perception. You see in the distance, and the sugar mill that Trill went into, you see kind of like popping into existence out of nowhere, a sort of like silver translucent rain that just kind of falls from midair, like above the mill, like whoosh, kind of like raining over it and onto it for a split second. And then there's like a kind of a glass breaking sound, and then it disappears again. And then you hear screams from inside the mill.
I think it's on the
All
hill
of you-
by Trill's mill.
All of you hear screams from the mill.
Did we all hear the whistling sound?
No, just Zay heard that. Maybe Lark
but
as well. since he ran out.
but Zay also she shouted to us, so that's why.
Yes, right.
Yeah, for me, the glass shattering is totally a Stone Cold Steve Austin trigger for me, so I'm ready for combat now.
Sure. And you hear the sound of crashing from inside the mill, and then like a large gout of smoke kind of like blows out of all the chimneys.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, sounds like we should go over there, huh?
Farron, we'll be right back.
He's like, "What's going on?"
We got to go up to the hill by Trill's mill.
He kind of nods to the incarnate that he's talking to, and then he's like, "I'll come with you," and he leaves with you towards the mill.
Okay.
Good, because I was real nervous about that.
Right.
Yeah. So what do you do on the hillside here, like a few hundred feet away from the mill?
I feel like I'd want to ask the incarnate, like, is this normal? The incarnate lives in this.
Oh, you call back to it?
Yeah, like.
It says no. it like stands up as well, looking concerned. Yeah.
Great.
Can Scoot carry me without being encumbered?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any armor on.
Yeah, I will. I jump on your back so that
Okay.
I can get your speed
Okay.
and keep up with everyone.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Zay, we're gonna get ahead of everyone.
Hey.
I try to jump up on Scoot's back too.
How do you react to that, Scoot?
That one's probably a slip. I probably try to
I totally dodge.
I'd
it.
probably try to do a shoulder
face plant.
Scoot. Just like a quick little shoulder shimmy to get that.
And Zelifar like bites you by like the nape of your shirt and like throws you onto his back as he turns into a dragon and starts running.
It's the second time you missed out on that.
Nice.
Yet again, I do not get to ride the
Oh, you guys are going so slow. Bye.
Ilka, he gives you a chance to jump on as well.
Yep,
if you
I'm
want.
gonna sling one arm up on his neck and do a really elaborate swinging my body up and over.
Like
I look
Legolas
like
on
a
an
total
elephant.
fucking badass.
We are
so
going
cool.
80 feet in 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so way faster than any normal person would. All four of you and Zelifar take off towards the mill. As you get closer, you hear screaming and the sound of like things breaking and fire burning inside. As you stand like right outside of it, it seems like the ground around it has kind of like cracked and shifted a little, like maybe something like earthquake, terrestrial has happened. What do you do?
Maybe they're all fighting over the crab cake.
Zelifar, can you get us any closer?
He's like, we're about as close as we can get. You're like standing like right outside the building, so they can like go in, or I guess part of the it's like a thatched roof, and it all like catches on fire.
Oh
like,
my goodness.
As you're
That's
standing
bad.
outside, yeah.
I definitely try to kick the door open, but don't have a lot of strength.
Yeah, no. If there's a door that needs to be made, Scoot is happy to oblige.
Yeah.
Sure. So with Zay on your shoulder, you easily break open one of the doors, and like a part of the wall collapses with it, like the force of it
I
is
just
enough.
kick down a wall.
Yeah, that's kind of how it looks. Yeah, it's pretty impressive to everyone else.
Zay casts mold earth to try to smoothen the smoothen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoothing.
It's the North American usage.
The terrain.
Like around the wall?
To help people escape if necessary.
So as the wall breaks down, you can see that the whole sugar mill has collapsed into a sinkhole about 20 feet deep.
Ooh.
And there's fire from the kettles that cook the sugar, like racing up the walls and setting everything on fire. And there are at least 6 workers down there, including Trill. How do you react when you see all of them? So you're molding earth to try and make like a ramp down?
Yes.
Okay.
And they're trapped down there?
Yep.
I probably am running down there to try to get people and drag them out.
Okay, so you're diving down. As you start heading down, Zelopharn starts trying to like push things aside to make a path for them as well. Suddenly, kind of in the air, shimmering into existence, you hear that same whistle again. The doo, 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 doo. And then these 2 long bipedal figures, like gray-skinned humanoids with long arms and long fingers, maybe like 15 feet tall. Kind of like shimmering, like they're not quite real, and they're kind of like their arms move in the wrong angles, and they're kind of quaking a little bit, and there's nothing really solid to them.
Creepy.
Yeah, it seems like when they shimmer into existence, you start to notice that like even though there's a fire burning, there's also like the ground around the sinkhole is like wrong, like it's gray, like it doesn't even match the ground of the rest of the preserve around you. Mm-hmm. It's like something different just kind of like appeared in the space and dropped the sugar mill into it. And one of them kind of leans over Trill and just kind of like inhales Dementor style, and Trill just goes lifeless underneath it immediately. Everyone else starts running as fast as they can towards you guys.
Twin Portals is produced and edited by Scott Hebert. The adventure is created by our Dungeon Master Matthias Valero, and the rest of the Silver Waves of Justice are played by Kendra Carlson, Beth Brophy, and Justin Peck. Scott Hebert is a fiscal year 2022 recipient of a Creative Support for Individuals grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board. This activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board, thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Previous support was made possible by the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, and my sincerest thanks to those 2 boards for their support. Thank you to Leland Campana for use of his Song of Verdum as our theme song. Thank you to the Renegade Theater Company, Teatro Zaccone, and Mary Fox for their support. And once again, thank you all so much for listening to Twin Portals.
Did the
Smeller seems nonplussed. He's like, what? I didn't catch anything.
No, nonplussed means the opposite of what you think it means, I
really?
think.
I think nonplussed means that you don't care. That's what I thought.
That's what it means.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was the last time. Sorry. Wait, no, nonplussed.
Yeah.
Sounds like it should mean you don't care. Doesn't it mean you do care?
No.
Nonplussed.
I think if you're plussed, then you care.
Yeah, nonplussed, you think it maybe means like confused or something, but it doesn't. It just means like blasé.
Yeah. Okay. I trust you, mostly. I kind of still want to look it up.
You can still look it up if you want.
It's okay. I don't have my phone on me. It's a good thing. Oh, I do. No, wait. I think that's the way on purpose. You guys, let's start over.
Zay goes into a spiral. I don't know. They've kind of felt like a friend or a family even.
Okay.
Sorry, I did not help the situation.
What? Does it mean something else?
Yes, it means the opposite of what you think it would mean.
What?
Yeah. Nonplussed means you're
Good
like
luck editing
so
this
shocked that you can't even speak.
Of a person surprised and confused so much that they are unsure how to react.
Interesting.
This went from something I was completely going to cut to maybe I have to leave in the episode.
Okay, but the informal definition is unperturbed.
Yeah, unperturbed.
I think it's one of those things where it's like Americans got it wrong for so
Yeah.
long. They just decided it was right.
That's what it says in formal North American.
Oh, no. There's a North American dictionary now?
Well, it's exactly what.
It's usage, which
first
isn't
First
God
question
said.
on
bad
Google.
thing.
People also ask, why does nonplussed have 2 opposite meanings?
I'm sorry.
Crazy. What? I had no idea about this.
You know what? I mean, We don't mind when the music teacher goes off on a music rant.
Totally fine. When
So-
the English teacher goes
Yeah,
to
this
be
is
like,
this is
You've been using non plus wrong for years.
I'm going to continue.
And everyone will still know what you mean.
I'm going to use it a lot in ambiguous situations where
Yes.
you don't know which one I mean.
Like bi-weekly. Do we do it twice a week or every other week?
I did use it in the
knows?
last episode too. Yeah.
That's what made me think of it. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, that's twice now. It didn't matter.
Teacher instincts.
Standing behind you.
He looks really spooked. He's like, I did not hear that.
Yeah, that's why it feels a little threatening to me.
Okay, so you're saying that I should go follow that voice though?
Well, you felt pretty confident that someone wanted to talk to you and that it was someone you knew and it was maybe family.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm nonplussed.
He says, "Me too, man. Me too."
I'm not gonna look at this for a week, and then I'm gonna get to it, and I'm like, this is fucking shit. Why did I allow this? Buy a whip, put it on the budget.
It's okay. This is classic like episode after a live show content.
Yeah,
It's,
right.
like, really
Totally
fast
is.
and loose.
It totally is.
I'm happy about it.
I did not get a lot of sleep.
Best like I drove 2.5 hours for this, and I love it.
I'm so happy. I regret nothing. You don't understand. Kendra, you understand.
I do.
Because I have a 6-month-old and y'all are adults.